Righty then. All right, and tea and then.
Yes. So hi guys.
Hello. Good morrow, good evening, good Thursday in some parts of the world, Wednesday most others.
And today we're talking about, according to List of Jericho, a rather dull topic. Why not Book of Boba discussion or a TNG review? 3 reasons. We're Trekyards, we love ships.
Wait, we're Trekyards, the Trekyards.
Number 2, Book of Boba Fett discussion is tonight at 10. And reason number 3 is because TNG reviews take a big chunk of our day to watch, screen cap, do notes for if we want, and just get ready and organized for it. So that's why.
It's like an event. It's almost an event, those in a good way.
Yeah, we love ships, so we're just going to talk about ships.
It wants a classic one. Actually, going to talk about some ships. It's like, yes, some ships.
Yes,
it's kind of how I felt, but you know.
No, I agree. Sorry, List of Jericho, that it's dull. Well, other people are saying it's a good idea for others. So.
And we have done a top 5 on this probably 3.5 years ago. So in theory, we know what our numbers are, but that time it's purely Prime, I believe. I don't know if it necessarily was, and there was no Discovery yet. So there's been definitely a bigger plethora, and also as you grow up, you have different styles and tastes, etc. So I'm pretty interested to see, and then go back and saying, well, and probably at the end I can then jump back into that and see if our numbers correspond at all or not at all, because I don't remember.
I remember having Klingon VASA ships in that though. Or was that just a specifically FASA one that we did?
Yeah, just because that was such a good idea, so we did a separate one as well.
Which we came up with another good idea when we were doing this one. There's a lot of different variations of the D7. And
a couple, yeah.
So we might do a top 5 of those at some point.
Yeah, because they're actually pretty damn different. They do a very good job at actually being different.
Yeah.
So some too different, some very different. But yeah, worth a discussion, we think.
So Ozzy Medeiros, member for 24 months at the rank of Fleet.
Oh my god. Oof.
Doc Brown, Klingon bird of prey, can go up to 9.9 gigawatts for warp speed. Yes. And Ozzy throws in $2 and says, "Watch out, Doc Brown, Klingon bird of prey." Yes.
That's
James McGill, who's been a member for 16 months, the commander.
Oh,
It's a good day to watch Trekyards, Gallon Stair.
Yes. And glory to you and your super chats.
Yes. I'm not doing that for every super chat. Olivia Julius, $2. Glory to you and your pug. We both have the same eyes when we do the Gowron eyes.
They're pretty iconic.
Iconic. I see what you did there.
That was my one joke of the year. It wasn't even intentional. That's sad. Right, let me get the live channel chat up then. But no, like I said, I'm really excited to see how we are different than last time. It has been years, and I think we've definitely got more analytical. Because of, you obviously you were in that mindset with the original batch of edited content, and then we've kind of evolved to more of a off the top of our head analysis style. So interesting to see how it's kind of evolved our thoughts or not thoughts. But it's always kind of fun when you get to a thumbnail like this, because there's all 3D models I have and put together and lit. It's like no reusers here. It's all together. Ha 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 ha.
That's cool.
I didn't want to bother to convert any other Discovery ships, but I thought I'd put at least one in. You know, the 2 birds, the 2 D7 variants, but not really. Yeah.
And a gargoyle.
Yes, but I have seen great Prime versions, although they really butcher it because they have to. But I will start sharing, and you can talk to those fine folks, folkettes, and aliens in between.
Go for it. Yeah. All right, guys. So we want to hear your thoughts, of course, on these ships and just what's your favorite. Let us know. Super chat away if you can. Would really appreciate it. And, the routine, guys. There's a join button down there. Check that out. There's a bunch of different tiers you can join at. That helps us on a monthly basis. Or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards, help us there. We also have a bunch of affiliate links down in the description below, things for Eagle Moss and a few other ones down there. So you can get yourself some Eagle Moss ships and use our discount code Trekyards10 to save yourself some money. And you can also head on over to the QAPLA store and the Teespring store. We got some cool Trekyards merch. If you guys are interested in Trekyards merchandise, we would love to see you guys wearing some. So if you want to head on over and check them out, at least go for it. They just ended a sale, but they have another sale coming up in like 2 weeks, I think. So if you want to add stuff to your cart and then pick it up later when it's on sale, that's always a good idea as well. So yeah. What else do I have to say? Oh yeah, hit that like button, guys. 48 people here for 28 likes. Let's try to get to 50 likes. It should be very doable. And yeah, there is quite a plethora of the Klingon ships now. Don't know if any of the ones from Discovery really count. But we'll see how it goes with the lists. And yeah, should be interesting. Because like I said, there was a bunch of different variants for D7 and Katinga, and it's like, I don't want like 8 of my 10 to be Katingas. So we kind of, just to kind of make it a little more interesting. So yeah, there's that. Just go vertebrae. Looks more Romulan if you look at the logos themselves.
So I just had a
yes.
I just had an idea as well for the live chat. 'Cause this is such an iconic topic. What if we do a set of polls and let the audience vote on their favourite? By I keep track of it, but let the audience vote. I put 4 options. People vote. I keep the best 2. Put another 4. Keep the best 2, and then by the end we'll see what the chat says is the favourite.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. I'll write that now while you talk to them again.
Fun idea. Yes, I mean, there are a lot more to look at now than when we first did this kind of thing, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, because, there are a lot, but are there, and are the new ones really on anybody's favorite list? I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, we'll do the poll where you guys can kind of vote and do like a bracket system to see which ship falls in the number 1 slot by the end. Should be interesting, actually. That's a good idea. Let's see. ThinkPad says, I dislike most Klingon vessels, but I love you two fellas. Aww. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button, guys. 37 likes, 61 people here. I want to hit 50 likes. That's 13. We can do it. I know we can do it.
Okay, so first round, I've got round 1, favourite Klingon ship, top 2 go through, Klingon D7 from TOS, Discovery Bird of Prey, D5 from Enterprise, and Vorcha, which are, I think, all on this list, thumbnail give or take, so you can have, like I say, top 2 go through. So vote on your favourite, and we'll see what happens.
I expect Discovery Bird of Prey to get 0 votes. So Ozzy puts in
keep
$2.
voting.
Klingon Bird of Prey can fire when cloaked. Well, one can, yes.
Oh, what a clever way of using your slot there. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I assume we're skipping honorable mention just because that could be even its own thing of like least favourite 10 sort of vibe.
Yeah, I would skip honorable mention.
Okay. So I'll let you jump in first. I'm eager to see what do you think. Oh, and also how's this to create list-wise? I sent you about 21. I sent you a pretty big list of options.
This wasn't easy. I thought I knew what I wanted for my number 1, and then I was like looking at it, and I'm like, I modified my number 1, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, actually. But it wasn't easy. And with all the variations of the D7 and Katingas, it's like, wow, 8 of my 10 are all freaking Katangas and D7s. So I kind of mixed it up a little bit more and filtered those out. So if we do a top 5 favorite variants of those ships, that might be way more fun. So I made it a little bit more interesting, threw in a little bit more. This was a difficult list to do, I gotta say. Wasn't happy about it.
But in a good, challenging way.
Yes.
Not like I hate my job sort of way.
No.
Yeah, I definitely found mine. It was more the number 1 and 2. Okay, fine, but trying to work out which one slightly beats another one was interesting, and certainly the middle ones. But as always, I tend to go from the top to the bottom and sort of reverse engineer it, and like by sort of fiat, because it's not 10 being the worst; it's 10 being the 10th favorite. Especially if this made to pick from, so it's more a case of just well, that's the natural order just by going through them. And guys, vote in the poll. I want to see. I mean, well, the more we see, but we'll go for maybe 20 minutes per one. So vote now.
Well, I mean, we can do it at the kind of the after number 7. We can end this one, start another one, and the other one after like 4.
Sure. Yeah.
Or something. You know.
I want to get as many votes as possible. So.
Yeah. Go out and hit the like button, guys. We need another 7 likes to get to 50. General Grievous throws in $5. I didn't mean to say Klingon Ship should be hauling garbage. What I meant to say is they should be hauled away as garbage. Just kidding. I like the Vorcha.
Me too.
There you go.
And as you can see, Defo and Vorcha are neck and neck, so your vote can very much turn that tide. So send glory to you and your house by voting now. So Stuart. Oh, that's my picture.
Yes.
What is your number 10?
My number 10 is one that's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but I really don't care because I think it's a cool design. Is it Klingon? Maybe not. But anyway, we're going to get into the class destroyer from Discovery. The Kugach, whatever however you pronounce that. This is a cool looking ship. It can be argued it doesn't look Klingon, it doesn't feel Klingon, but I thought this design was so cool. Not when I saw it at first, but when I got the Eagle Moss model, held it, it does seem like more like a fantasy video game key of some sort.
Key is what comes to mind, yeah.
Yeah, or like some kind of weapon. But as the ship goes, it's a neat design. I can see a little bit of Klingon-y influence in it, and I really like the colors and the shapes. So it's a unique one. It's one that, out of all the Discovery ones, I think is definitely my favorite, because Discovery ones are just god-awful. So I just wanted to have a Discovery one on the list and start off with that and get that out of the way, just to mix up my list a little bit. So there you go.
Yeah, it's got more character, but that's because of the colour scheme. But you can tell there's zero logic put into what anything is. You know, where's the bridge? Where's the weapons? Where's the engines?
Where's the windows? There's nothing. Yeah.
Where's the windows? Where's the shuttle bay? Where's the... You know, it's a total lack of any sort of thought. It's just... Because we know that the guy did like 50 silhouettes and then picked a few. There's not any thought put in. I remember I watched a live stream where the Star Trek Online team were talking about building some of these ships, and they said that once you start... You know, once you give them 3D assets in the show and you start looking at them, a lot of these ships have the same greeblies, just moved around and then rescaled. So once you have one ship, you can kind of like kit bash a lot of the other ship shapes, which means it's just lots of repeated parts without sort of any sort of form or function. Now, do you think it's going the right way, or would it be better going the other way? Because the red tip is the front, or do you think the other way should be the front?
No, I like the red tip at the front. That's my personal thought. I mean, it could go the other way, but then I don't know. That would change the feel for it. Wouldn't feel Klingon that way. Not that it feels Klingon to begin with. I think it feels more Klingon going the other way. But somebody just pointed out in the chat that it looks like the head of a trident. And yeah, definitely top of a trident would be awesome.
Yeah, just an ornate key comes to mind for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to put one Discovery one on, and this was the best out of the bunch. So
there you go. Good to have one on. But I mean, these are, I've said this obviously before, but if I ever have free time again, it'd be great to go back and redesign these to actually make them feel actually Klingon rather than not.
It'd be pretty easy, actually.
It would be.
Take the basic shapes and just,
I mean, it might need to be a bit more than 25% different, but, you know, you could get there. I mean, just adding a head module. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, there we go.
Before we get to your number 10, let's get to the super chats. Jamal puts in $5. Bird of Prey, Negavar, D7, and Katinga, and Raptor. The Discovery Season 2 D7 was not bad, and I wish they used that same styling for the monstrosity that preceded it. Yes.
Yes.
And General Grievous, $2. Oh, look, a planet key from Transformers Cybertron.
Those clothes do fit that, yeah.
That's exactly right. All right, Samuel, what is your number 10? Let's get this off the screen so people don't hate me.
Yes, we just lost 400 subscribers, Stuart. Sorry, man.
Probably.
My number 10 is the Enterprise era attack ship. Because it's not the best, it's not the worst, but it somehow does maintain the Klingon aesthetic, and I like the sleekly sharpness of it. Obviously, like it feels Klingon, but more like a. I mean, once you know the scale, it is rather small. It feels to me like a small Klingon dagger kind of ship, very compact, short range, got warp, got impulse. I love the kind of prongs at the start, the deflector, the guns being very much of the other things. The fact we only see it in, I believe, 2 shots is a bit insane for the amount of relative design work that's clearly gone into it. It's not a kit bash, it's a fresh design. But I just think it fits the bill of being totally Klingon while being totally original, while being clearly a Bird of Prey derivative. And that's the sign of a good design, when it fits in but also is unique. And to invent a whole new sort of class variant out of whole cloth, it's like, oh, cool. A Klingon tiny attack ship. And actually the miniature's pretty good as well from Egos.
Yeah, I've never liked this one. I don't know what it is. I know it's a small ship, but like it feels to me like a fighter or like a shuttle, which is what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's like a runabout size of like it's an enhanced, or a bit bigger than that, but it's like a Yeah,
I've just never been a fan of the shapes in it. I don't know why. It does invoke like it's got some D7 elements with the middle part, and of course the Bird of Prey style kind of wings almost. But for something about it just does not. I don't know. There's something about it I just do not like. I don't even remember it in the show, to be fair. I forget which episode it was in.
It's the ship the augments used to attack the Enterprise while not using the Bird of Prey.
Oh.
And it's like, but you have a Bird of Prey using this for an episode.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's not. Sorry, it's the wrong one. This is the one that it's still augment storyline, but it's the one that the genetically modified Klingon augments used to attack the NX-01 and steal the Doctor, and then they'd be on board and disable the warp engine. So it's like a random ship that kind of comes in. So still the augment storyline, just not that augment storyline. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it still has a sense of John Eaves's later Romulan designs for Picard, where they're kind of like, well, they're green and wing-like, but there's no sort of detail in mind for those ships. They're just kind of they are. Whereas this does maintain the elements of the Enterprise era aesthetic, as all the elements there, which the new ones are missing, while still being a new shape. I just think it's a good testament to it does exactly what it says on the tin, and yet feels unique, and that is an impressive feat when the art design is so obvious, you know.
I was just gonna say for me, it would make more sense to have a more rounded front end, but then of course it would just be like a shrunk. Everybody would say it's just a shrunk down Bird of Prey. So they went for something stylistically different. So
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's move on to the number 9 position.
Number 9, and guys, vote in the poll because it's a poll for you guys.
Which for me, the number 9 is the Klingon D5 Enterprise. Nice early design influenced Klingon ship, in my opinion. I think John Hughes did a fantastic job with this one. You get elements of the Bird of Prey because it kind of has proportions, but yet you see D7 Katinga elements all over it as well. So it's a nice mashup of all of them. It's not a very big ship, if I recall correctly, and I was really struggling whether to put this one on or the freighter version.
Yeah,
because the freighter version I think looks a shit ton better.
Really now?
But it's a freighter. So I didn't want to put a freighter on because I think it just looks beefier and more imposing than this. But this one, I don't know. I just didn't want to put a freighter on for some reason. So I was really struggling with that because, But, yeah, this is a nice, sleek design. Almost a little too sleek for the time period, I guess, in my opinion. But it's kind of... It seems more like a post-TNG style ship, honestly.
I mean, you have to remove all the piping and such to make it feel... Yeah. You have to do a lot to the detailing, but certainly the sleekness. Yeah. And Little Jericho asks, have you not done a Klingon Ship live? No, just edited.
Were you here when I addressed your "This is a dull live"? Little Jericho, did you leave for that little bit? Anyway, Mark Lawrence, $5. It looks like it's going to kick someone in the face.
They're all pretty aggressive. Yeah. Mario says, Enterprise followed Voyager in putting a lot of work on ships you only saw once. Yes, especially as, and this is something we talked to Pierre Droulet about, who's the primary model maker of Enterprise, that he was never told how much any ship would feature in the show. 8 times out of 10. So he would put the amount of work he felt was needed into the ship, and then if it was a 5-second ship, it was a 5-second ship. He did the same amount of work for a lot of them, so that's why a lot of them have a really good texturing, etc., because he just worked hard to make them good. That's why they kind of hold up better. They're not like Discovery ships where that clearly is only going to be seen in one shot. Let's not detail any of it, and then you get a Eaglemoss. It's like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I make sure it's super detailed just in case they do tend to use it for other episodes later on. Because there's nothing worse than designing something and then going, hey, I like that. Let's start using it. And you're like, I'm not happy with that because I didn't detail it the way I wanted. Like, we don't care. We got the asset. We're using it. So, yeah, that would annoy the shit out of me if it wasn't detailed enough. So, yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you cut some big corners for this specific angle, and then the next time they use it without telling you or asking, they then do a reverse. It's like, well, that literally is a broken bit because I didn't fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. 80 votes, guys, on the poll, which is fantastic. There might be 2 clear winners here.
Ooh, I'd say.
So I'll do mine and we'll close that poll and we'll do round 2. As we said, guys, this is a poll for you guys. See what you think overall your top favourite ship is. Cool. So D5, I like it. Okay, my number 9 is the Raptor class from Enterprise, which, in a very, very similar vein to the attack ship, it's obviously Klingon, yet totally different. Also, rarely, I think it's only used once. This is the version from the show with all the damage points. But again, it to invent another whole class of ship, it's quite bold. I mean, Discovery also invented lots of new Klingon ships, but who knows the hell their functions are, really, except the Cleave ship. Whereas this and the attack ship are distinctly different variants of just a new thing they do. But fits in with the aesthetic of the era very well. The nacelles are clearly what they are, but clearly less advanced, with less greeblies and less whatever. Simpler, so clearly older, and that's how they play it in the show. The head kind of gives off a D7 vibe, but also not at all. It has the command point, and yet new detailing. And yet it's kind of, its bulk is more than the average Klingon ship, which makes it feel older as well. So it's just a good mix of oddities within the aesthetic, and yet put them together, it actually kind of works. It's not meant to look sleek and fast. It's meant to kind of look more robust, and yet still has that sort of future sleekness of just being the future. So I think overall it's nice. I would certainly do a few things to update it, and it clearly wasn't, as you said, in design as a hero mesh, besides the episode it was in, where it was in a foggy cloud situation, which obviously hid a lot of sins.
Yeah,
you know, it's missing the red glowy elements, missing the weapons and etc. So it is missing things, but wasn't functioning for the episode. So I can see. So a refit version would be easy, and I'd love to see it at some point. So hurry up.
Problem with this one for me, it feels too much like the Vorcha. It feels like you got the TNG era ships, and then you got the classic era ships like the Katinga and the D7 and stuff for TOS in the movies. And then you go back to the Enterprise era, and all of a sudden all the ships look like the new versions of the TNG ones, like predecessors to them almost. It just feels weird for me. And I think that's one of the reasons that last one, that attack ship, is a little off too, because of the front pointy bits. Again, it looks like the Vorcha head design. It's like the TOS era was like a totally, we're redesigning everything we have to be something new. And then later in TNG, they're like, remember those designs we had way back, in the day? Let's make all the new ships look like that. So it just feels like Johnny's was designing backwards from TNG instead of TOS, and I don't think it fit in appropriately. That's I think one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of these. Does that make sense?
Well, it does, but obviously all you have in TOS is 2 ships, and he did make his own version of those 2 ships. So everything else has to be new. So there is nothing to pull back from. We never had a small,
true,
scout skimmer style ship.
It is true.
And certainly Enterprise is the sleeker than it should be, quote unquote, but also to limit the sleekness in a ship that's also still 200 years in the future seems really, kind of mean, given that they like sharp, stabby things as a culture. So it seems their ships shouldn't get more blocky as we go backwards. That seems antithetical. So, things go in waves, and I think there's some logic to this. Is a super headcanny, retconny thing, but these are all pre-cloaks. So once cloaking tech became a thing, the way they designed ships changed, and then once they got more advanced with the cloaks, they could then redesign ships they wanted to design, put the Klingon aesthetic back in, because it didn't damage the cloaking ability. So these are all like pure Klingon warships. They have more simplistic shapes to do cloaking, and then later on doesn't quite work with the D7 obviously, but maybe they'd stolen some plans earlier. I don't know. That's kind of just a vague thing in my brain.
And Subraxis, just because things are fantastically sculpted doesn't mean that they're thought out. Show. Yes, they're nice models, but...
And for Subraxis, I'm talking about Mudd's dad's ship that was in one shot. It's awfully detailed. That's what I'm talking about. Very, very poor. Also, the Hiawatha, that's very low detail. Very, very low detail. So, there you go. And those were one-use ships, obviously, but so were these. Or at least their attack ship was. That was the direct comparison we're making. So it wasn't babbling, was talking fact, based on knowledge of all the models, etc. I'm sorry, Stuart, you're frozen. Right. Your video's frozen. I'm sorry.
It's not, though.
I'm sorry, but it is. They need to see your pretty face. There you go. There it is.
There we go. Alright, so do you want to end the poll now, or do you want me to...
Yeah, 100 votes. Boom, yeah. Okay, so you can read the results, and I'll write them down.
So, favorite Klingon ship. Top 2 are going through. The next is Klingon D7. You ended the thing as I was reading it. Klingon D7, TOS 40%. The Vorcha class 37%. Those 2 are moving on, and then we got the D5 from Enterprise at 18%, and the Discovery Bird of Prey at 2%, which was like 1 person voting probably. Well, okay. 2 people.
All right.
Next, we'll set of ships coming up now, I guess. I'll let Samuel deal with that. Hit that like button, guys. We're at 65 likes. We have 107 viewers, so we should be able to get to 75 or 80 very easily. So hit that like button. Actually, my main goal is to get to 100 likes. So if you can hit that button, please do so. Don't forget to super chat. Let us know your thoughts on these ships as well. And we want to read your comments and things like that. So be part of the conversation. But yeah, hitting like is a great way to just show your support. So...
And so Braxton says you can claim the original Connie is low on detail when you look at it like this. It's got more detail than the Mud ship. Especially if you look at like the Interior Darkly one with interior window detail, panel lines, plate detail, shuttle bay detail. I mean, it's more detail than Mud's one has.
And Mud's is just a stupid design.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that, you're also saying, oh yes, a 60-year-old design, that's low on detail, but a one design 3 years ago, oh, that's in CG when it was cheap and easy to make detail. They could literally pull detail off other 3D models and they couldn't be bothered. Great comparison there, mate. Great comparison.
Yeah. All right. I'm surprised the Klingons never tried placing Miranda-class weapons roll bars. Ooh, and weapons. Look at the ships. Yeah. Well, we're getting ready to go into my number. Oh my god, we're only going in number 8. Seriously. Oof. Okay. Samuel's done the next poll with the next choices of ships to pick.
Yep, next poll is, and I really have to remember them because
Yeah.
you gotta make sure you're 4. Next 4 is round 2. Favorite Klingon ship, toxic coin pasted. The Raptor from Enterprise, which is this one. The Negvar, the D7 from Trials and Tribulations, which is the more advanced, the more platey updated one, and the JJ-D4 Fighter. So vote now, or forever hold your peace.
Cool.
Your number 8, Stuart, is the
Negvar.
Hey Negvar. Wow, you sound the thrilledness of your scoring there. Goodness.
I want to like the Negvar more, but something about it just bugs me, and I can't put my finger on what it is. I love that it's a bigger ship, much bigger in size, kind of that next generation of ships, and the gun on the front I think is kind of silly, honestly. There's just things about it that don't work for me.
Okay.
I don't even know why. It just, when I was placing them, this kept sliding further down, and this is kind of where it ended up. I don't hate it by any means, and going toe to toe, like comparing it with a Galaxy class, yeah, okay, cool. But
Or a soft
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know why I don't have this higher on the list. I mean, you just have to see the ships they have higher on the list, I guess. But
yeah. So is it more aesthetics or where it places or natural advancement of the tech that you don't like? Or kind of everything put together in a non-describable feel?
like I said, I don't know what it is. There's something about it. Ever since I first saw it, I'm just like, okay, it's all right. It's just never really appealed to me. That being said, I haven't really seen it like doing anything like really impressive.
It's true. Yeah, it's not in much.
Yeah, so that might change my mind, but every time I see it, I'm just kind of like, it's okay. Moving on. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just.
Okay then.
$5. Thank you, saving me with the super chat.
Yeah.
Tinga motion picture is my favorite, but Star Trek 3 Bird of Prey is a close second. Cap, don't criticize my spelling. I was going to say something about Katinga, but I kept going before I even read that. So there you go.
And in fairness, your lack of text in a limited text box, like people should forgive Twitter if you're trying to say a message and it's like I have to now compress. Like one of the messages I did recently, I had to like do please to plus and. Like, I'd have to,
Yeah.
Has to do. So, guys, keep voting. We'll get at least 100, or 100 is perfect, so 59 already. Vote now. Again, 2 clear winners. This is just a good little test for us as well. Cool. Yeah. Negvar, where art thou, Negvar? On my list. Don't know. Let's find out. My number 8 is there. And I didn't scale up. Mine is the JJ D7. Yes, JJ does make it into the top 10 list. Because this is a nice looking D7. I mean, we didn't see it in the movie enough to know that. Because they're annoying. But we do after the fact. And I would like to use this at some point. I mean, there's a few things I would quote unquote fix about it. But they're pretty small. The I like the neck plating. It just feels out of whack. Like it should be refined a bit. But I like the guns, I like the head, I really like the secondary hull, how it's been sleeked out. That's really, really nice, actually. And the engine's being so faithful is kind of bold, considering other D7s we've had recently. So it's both faithful, and yet... it's... Okay, I was about to say most classic the original, but it's trying to make a hot rod out of a classic car. It's like, let's add shit, because we can add stuff. But keep it in a faithful frame, so it's kind of a confusing one. But hey, it's a nice looking D7, and I wish we got more than 0 screen time with her properly. And if they ever do that Star Trek 4, one of the many storylines they've told us officially. Because do you remember, Stuart, that our fans said, why aren't you reporting the official announcement of that new director? And it's like, because the movie's not it's been announced 4 times. It's been another year and a half, and they haven't done anything. So let's not say, that film's officially happening in any great way, because it's been another year and a half and nothing's moved. So let's. But I still would like to see a JJ Klingon War movie and have this as the hero villain ship. I would be down for that.
Well, they wouldn't use this one. I guarantee you. This is one of the ones that was on screen for like 3 seconds.
Yep.
And it is the most faithfully. This is how you redesign a ship and pay homage to the original and do it well. This is fantastic.
So a couple of things I'd tweak, but not much.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always 1 or 2 things on a ship you're
exactly
probably going to tweak. But this one I really like for sure. I feel that if JJ knew it was going to get more screen time, he would have butchered the design as much as he could. But because it was like, oh, it's only on screen for how long? Okay, yeah, you're never really going to see it. Okay, that's fine. It's one of those, and that's a sad thing because it's a really cool redesign. There's a lot of nice things to say about it.
That gives me so many like cute little vibes of like, oh, you're so right, isn't he? No, it's right. And I know that this was designed by Axe Jaeger, who worked on First Contact and did the whole fleet. He designed the Norway and the Sabre and the Steamrunner. Obviously quite off-kilter sort of ships, very odd. And it's nice when they're given a bit more ability to do it themselves, but still he could do it different. Best. I mean, we've said many a time, it always makes our top 5, top 10 list on things from that film because it's easily one of the best things in that film. And given the 4 seconds of half screen time it gets is impressive.
And Mario's like, I didn't even know it was in that movie at all. Yeah, it's in the Kobayashi Maru scenario on the display. You see them getting blown up.
Yeah, they do a little like pan going boom, 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 and they all blow up. It's like, that was the D7, everyone. It's like, oh, right. Okay.
Laughable Larry throws in $5 super chat and says, thanks for being the only good thing in my life right now.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Man, I hope you're still able to laugh. Based on that name. Oh, I hope you're okay.
We're here for you, man.
We're live right now. This one's dedicated to you, Laughable Larry.
All right, guys, we have 116 people here, 84 likes. That's not acceptable. Hit that like button.
Well, sorry. I take it back.
Let's get up to 100. And we only have 63 votes in the poll, so go vote. We want 100 votes at least. So, moving on to my number 7.
Yes.
My number 7 is the Vorcha. I like the Vorcha more than the Negvar. Oh, it feels more in line with a updated Katinga, like a next generation version, and just it's a better ship. I don't know. It's obviously better because it's higher on the list, but that's all the TNG ones out of the way, I guess. But anyway, nice design. Have no real issues with it. Structurally, it's great. Keeps in line with the Klingon design aesthetic nicely. I'd change the head of it a bit. I don't like the way they pushed that like bridge module thing back. But that's just me. Apparently that's detachable, that front thing as well. So
yeah, you designed like 5 pods for it.
Yeah.
I mean this sort of ship is begging for like variants.
Yeah.
Because just tweaking the shoulder blades, tweaking the sail slide, tweaking the front bit, like I said, the head module. Like, it feels like such a platform of a good shape, just to kind of tweak some things. Make a torpedo gunboat version, make a X, Y, and Z. Kind of like the Miranda of the fleet, like tweak a few things. Maybe make it a 4 nacelle, a 3 nacelle. Like, you could do, I think, a lot with this and have it feel good.
Paul Potter puts in 35.
Zar.
Something.
Let's have a look. What is that?
I always feel the thin necks of
African
Klingon
Rand.
ships.
South African. Thanks.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Paul.
I always feel like the thin necks on the Klingon ship was a serious design flaw. One lucky torpedo, and the bridge is separated from the rest of the vessel. Dun, dun, dun. You can say that about every ship design.
I was about to say, one torpedo in that big exposed deflector and the thing can't go to warp. One torpedo on that bridge dome and everyone's dead. One on that warp core ejection hatch and the plasma gets redistributed and destroys everything. It's
One on that nacelle and you only got one nacelle and you can't. You're only as good as your defenses. So.
And I've never thought about this, but the Connie nacelle this way around is thicker than the boom of the D7, but also that way it's thinner. So if that's thin, but most people don't really complain, it looks advanced. So while it might be a little bit too thin for the for the D7, it makes it feel advanced. The fact they can do that is impressive.
And a lot of the redesigns of the D7 over the years, like the Discovery one and even the JJ one we're just looking at, thickens and builds up that neck attachment point to the point where it's like, yeah, that looks better. So
it's like everyone's number one first thing they do.
Yeah.
Pretty much literally, yeah.
So Paul, a lot of people are with you on that one. Ozzy throws in $2. The Tribbles have a Klingon bird of prey.
Okay.
All right, what is your number 7, sir?
Good question. What's my good answer? The D5. A little bit higher on my list because I like how original the shapes are. I like the front bit, has a really cohesive feel to me. It's different, but I mean, I would obviously love a something on the. I think it's something on the top. But I love that low torpedo launcher. The fact that it blends in the cowl, feels very militaristic and protected. I don't mind the piping. I think it gives some character. Although certainly if I was doing a refit, you'd clean that up a little bit. I don't really like the harshness of the edge of the wing. But the nacelles I think are really nice looking, and about the tanker variant, they're more different than you think. I mean, you saw renders; they are more different than people think, or being the same kit bash. Obviously, that was designed first, and they made a warship out of the tanker by changing a few things. So it's interesting how But I think that one has it being more stout does benefit, although the tanker bit is quite bulky. I do think this version, it's odd to have the nacelles outstretched forward. It does feel a bit odd, and the neck is a bit too wide. Which are the two things it's different from the tanker. But I do like the overall vibe. It's good in motion. I've flew that a few times. It works. It feels really aggressive when you fire those torpedoes out of the front. It has a really nice vibe to it. And I just think it has so many new caveats to the classic design. Although I probably would agree that the part of the nacelles maybe shouldn't have gone for such a sleek-esque thing. But then you can't really go as rustic as a D7 because that's already as basic as you can get, rounded rectangle. Yeah. And you couldn't just have that for every ship. It was look at D7, so I'm not sure how they could have gone. But maybe less pointy a nacelle might have helped them. But yeah, I like it. I think it's good. It's not perfect, obviously, but that's why it gets a low-high or high-low on my list.
Guys, 91 votes on the poll. Go vote. We need 9 more and 1 more like on the general likes. So yeah. All right, let's go on to my.
I also do like how this ship feels very powerful and Enterprise. That it against the Enterprise, when they have the two of them, it feels like a chunky warship.
Yeah.
With its big low guns, it has a certain vibe to it that the D7 doesn't have, which is I kill you. That's more of a no. We're not gonna fight. We're older than that. We don't need to fight. Oh, I'll fuck up if we have to. But this one's like, yep, I'm spoiling. Let's go. You and me, torpedoes. Yeah. 7 more votes, guys. 7 more votes in the poll. All right, Stuart. Your next.
My number 6
is
the Burrell bird of prey.
Emma Geared.
I was so confused as to why there's a Romulan ship on this list, but whatever. Here we are. Anyway, one of the most iconic Klingon ships in all of the Star Trek history.
Take that back.
No. Anyway, first introduced in Star Trek 3, it's supposed to be a Romulan design, and quickly became like the standard for Klingon ships, which is fine. I love I don't like the size. The fact that this is only like a dozen officers and men, like a small little scout ship, kind of bugs me a little bit. But the variable wing geometry is cool. There's a lot about it that's really neat. It looks great in different flight configurations, moving, weaving in and out of ships like in the Dominion War. Like there's some really cool visuals of this ship. It looks good in motion, and it's the most seen Klingon ship, in all honesty. So, it's only number 6 on the list, though.
That's
That
yeah.
being said, and it wouldn't fit 2 humpback whales, for the record, but small little thing there. But yeah, I think the Bird of Prey, the Burrell is nice. Just a little too small for me. Wish there was a bigger, beefed up version. There's more numbers on this list, is all I'm saying.
Speaking of numbers, though, 103
Yes.
votes in our round 2 of the poll. So I'll read out round 2. Favourite Klingon ship. Top 2 go through. Raptor Enterprise 11%. Negvar 34%. D7 the Trials and Tribulations sort of refreshed version 49%. But the JJD4 Fighter respectable 7%. So
Nice.
the classics one out there. So the Negvar and D7 go through. That's now 2 D7s have gone through. So I have a D7 off. Should be weird, but hey.
James McGill puts in $2. Keep up the good work. Still doing the Gowron stare. Yes. Hit that like button, guys. If you haven't, we have 120 people watching and 105 likes. So let's try to get for 120. Let's get another 15 likes if we can. Coming up at our halfway mark here. And this poll idea is going to be fun. It's going to show us what you guys think as a collective whole is the best at the end of this. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. But yeah, keep the super chats coming. We appreciate all the support we can get financially. So if you're able to, we appreciate it. Even if it's like $2, $1, $5, whatever. All adds up, and we do read them all on the air. So we do address them and talk about them. So if you want to hear your voice, have your voice heard, you know what I mean. Super chat.
That's okay, Metallic fan. Right, Stuart, read out the next version of the poll.
It is round 3. Ding, 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 ding. Your favorite Klingon ship, top 2 go through. Burrell, Bird of Prey, on screen now. Sarcophagus ship from Discovery. Attack ship from Enterprise. And the D7 Kelvin timeline.
It's 4 different design stylings, iterations, universes for that.
Yeah. Good job, good job.
It's been a variety. And I'd like to throw Sarcophagus in because it is an impressive design. Just maybe not. Hey, it might be number 1. Let's not pretend it might not be Stuart's number 1. We really don't know at this point. Who's to say? But probably not.
All right, so we're in line now to get Samuel's number 6.
What beats the D5? Just doing that quickly. Needs to go up to 74. Okay. My number
6.
thank you, is the Enterprise Zero Bird of Prey. So both our birds of prey get that, but only at number 6 because, and this is never, it's never the most great view as my archive render view. But I've flown this plenty of times, and I have whenever I use it for fan films, and in fact I'm showing a tile sequence to a set of clients tonight, and I included this, but I'd use my version where I made the guns the same size, which helps and I made the top portion smaller, which I guess, I don't know, then, it looks different from perspectives. But no, Enterprise Zero Bird of Prey, a lot to like on this. It's both super faithful, it's super different. I like a lot of the logic put in. I actually don't mind the huge pipes. I think they kind of add a fun vibe to it. It's a really, really nicely detailed model for the time. I love the cannons. I love the excessive amount of aggression it shows in the episode. It really does flow and shoot. I mean, this can take out Enterprise. This is a warship bird of prey we've never seen really as a unique version up to this point. And it certainly deserved a bit more screen time. And yes, you tweak a few things. There's much you tweak, though, to kind of do it. I love the fact that no one ever noticed that the 2 guns are different sizes, which I think is probably a CG mistake because of why would there be 2 different sizes, the left and right main gun. But yeah, it's I was really happy when it turned up, and it's fun to see what a pre-cloaking version is when they just went for we need to kill rather than stealth. So yeah, I like this one, and I think its appearances look really good. You know, the way it's featured in the episodes, it has such a great vibe and a kick-ass vibe, and that does help, obviously. It just comes in and wrecks shop.
It's my favorite Star Trek ship design of all time. It is my #1 in every list we do of ships.
So have you a concussion?
I love it. Yes.
Okay, because that's the only answer to that question of what the hell.
Area 51 throws in $5.
There you go.
Enterprise Era Bird of Prey looks like a soggy plucked chicken. Sorry, Sam. Totally agree. I hate this design, and I've told John Hughes as much, which is kind of funny.
That's
Then
why
he
he won't
signed a
talk to you,
print
okay.
of it for me.
Okay.
Hope you get a chance to captain this wonderful ship. I forgot what you said. I gotta go find it. Anyway.
Yeah, something that's snarky.
Yeah, I just don't really enjoy the design at all. It's too lanky and weirdly proportioned, and it's just. I love the plucked chicken analogy. That's kind of funny. But yeah, sorry, I'm just not a fan. But it's not your #1, so we can say that at least.
Oh yeah, it's not a #1 level. And looking at this reminds me of my Avalon D7. Maybe worth me picking 10 of my fan film designs, original ones, and then submit them to you, and then we do a top 10 of those. Because I mean, you know, if they're all your babies, it's not as if I'm going to be insulted. It's 10, you know. And so like, where'd my Bird of Prey variant? Maybe we should plan that. What do you think?
Sure.
I've designed a few ships now.
Yeah. General Grievous, $2. Found the garbage scow. Looks like sarcophagus ship.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. What sort of vote? Oh my goodness. That is
Well, 77 votes. Go vote, guys.
slightly one-sided. Keep voting, guys, because if you really want the Enterprise Era Bird of Prey to work, or the attack ship, you have to vote now.
Let's move on to my #5.
Okay.
Coming up the halfway mark here.
Yeah, perfect.
My #5 is the Discovery D7. This was done by what's his name, Dennings.
Ryan Dennings.
Dennings, and yeah, we were hanging out with him in Birmingham at the convention, and I love what he did to your prints, where he changed it to like his design over the real D7, and then signed it. That was great. We got all that on video. That experience.
One right there.
Yeah. But this was great. They listened to the fans. They made a D7 that looks like a D7. Very similar. He did his own tweaks, of course, like the head shape's a little different, the nacelles, obviously. And there's that bulking up of that neck segment that looks so good. This is a fantastic design. If they had done this from the beginning, if this was the love that they were putting in for the ships since the get-go of that show, it would have been much better. But I think it's a fantastic looking design, nice upgrade. Could even just call it a variant. You could still have a classic D7 right beside it, and you wouldn't really think much of it, honestly. It's more of a command cruiser or something like that. So, yeah, I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's a cool variant. Cool whip.
James McGill, $2.
Thank
What Klingon ship you wish to be canon? Me, the D10. The D10 would be awesome to be canon ship for sure.
For me, one of the ships from Starfleet Command or Armada. I'd have to go look, because sometimes are pretty, I think, good designs.
That's really cool.
But I have to really go in. I mean, those ones are like, let's push the boundary. I've always liked the Fecklith or Feklar class, even though it's weird. Because I like how many special weapons it has. It's just, damn, this thing can do everything. It's like, yep. This can. Yes, yeah. No, D7, yep. It's just, you know, it too little too late, maybe.
Well,
especially as it holograms the one episode, then appears at the end, and that's it. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Because if this had been the ship in the first episode, a sarcophagus ship, and then a fleet of these warp in, and everyone has their own version, like all the D7s different colours, depending on which house they're in, or like different nacelles, like everyone had the same D7 baseline, but all the heads are different, all the nacelles are different, and it's like, yes, this is a KDF, and that would be so cool.
Yeah. Unless Jericho says don't really like the nacelles, but you got to look at it like this. This is 10 years before, or 9 years before TOS. So the D7s we see in TOS are a little different. Look at the top of that nacelle, and just picture that you slid the bottom part of a regular D7's nacelle off, and that's like the inner workings. So it's like an early version of the nacelle, which later they bulked out to make more efficient in some way. Or
Well, they just finished.
Yeah, because this was hot off the presses when it showed up in Discovery. Like, this was new. So yeah, I think the nacelle actually, you can see how a D7 TOS nacelle would naturally be the next step from this. So yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right, your number 5.
My number 5, and guys, vote in the poll when I do the third round, is the same ship.
Are you serious? That's cool.
No, this one is a better variant than the D5 and etc. No, it was a breath of fresh air that also I just talked about being a little bit too little too late, because it takes what you should be doing, which is take the what is the main fleet ship and modernize it, reinvent, do what anything. But the head's great. You know, as someone who's also made their own custom D7, it's very hard to change the shapes to be different while being the same. The neck is too long, and it only looks too long when you have the physical miniature. It's way too long, which is the exact opposite of what you would do normally. But that's what the JJ one did. It had a smaller version. So, you know, the two weakest parts are the nacelles and the neck. The neck is way too long. It looks insane. And the nacelles are so radically different aesthetically to the rest of the hull. It's jarring, because you look at the hull, it's D7, look at those, it could be any other thing. Now, yes, there is the logic of these are literally version 1, and they go into more advanced D7, which I love. Great concept. But there's still something lost in translation with that concept into execution. They're too detailed, too different, too whatever, and also very long. It just doesn't feel good. And, you know, we've seen the physical miniature, I've held it. It lets it down. They're too long. But the head is phenomenal. The back is great. It's just a D7 back. It's absurdly the same, even to the point of having literally Katinga details. So, in essence, the things they took that weren't broken, they got perfect. The thing that was simple, they and detail was amazing. The things they changed for no reason were worse. Different worse. I'm sorry, bad worse, just different worse. But it's hard to beat a definitive design. And you know, Ryan Denning's a very smart man, and he, you know, had a punt. Just a few proportions were a bit out, and obviously he wouldn't have even known until it was built in 3D and then physical miniature, because you only design things from certain perspectives. You might not think it'll work a certain way. I know he showed some of his pictures on his phone of like a design process, and he sketched over shots from the show which don't have the full perspective in them because they're obviously shot. So it's a tricky one, but yeah, very nice. Just a few shortcomings, but you know, all the stuff tends to be a couple of shortcomings.
Mark Lawrence throws in $5. Stoner thought Destiny from Stargate Universe could be more easily passed for a Klingon ship than any of those disco entries. I can see that, actually.
I'm not sure I can exactly, but I like your thought process. And so, do you want to end the poll and start and read it out? Because I think we've reached what we need for that.
All right, round 3's results are the Burrell Bird of Prey at 65%, the D7 Kelvin timeline at 17%, the attack ship from Enterprise at 11%, and the sarcophagus ship from Discovery at 6%. So the Burrell Bird of Prey and the Kelvin timeline D7 are going into the next round, or the final round.
Yeah,
I guess.
Cool.
Eric Martin,
yay for JJ.
So why are Klingon nacelles always underneath? I don't know. Is this beginning of a joke? I don't know.
A D7, a Burrell, and a attack ship going to bar. What happens next, we'll never tell. Okay.
They're not always underneath. I mean, on the Bird of Prey, they're not. But it doesn't have nacelles.
They're on the butt. / the wings, because it's all actually one big thing.
Yes. So, I don't know, it's just their design style. Why are the Federations mostly up top?
Just going to write this if you want to vamp for a second.
Well, yeah. 120 viewers, 126 likes. That's awesome. Can we hit... Okay, let's do baby steps now. 130 likes. 4 more likes, guys. And keep the super chats coming. We do need at least another, at the minimum, kind of $40 at the very minimum. But a couple fives, a couple tens, throw them in if you can. We appreciate it. And if anybody out there is interested in Book of Boba Fett episode 4, I'm doing it live tonight at 10 p.m. ish, might be a little after 10, talking about that. So be sure to join me for that. Yeah, and we look forward to a new episode of Prodigy this week. Fun stuff. Oh, I'm tired. Starfleet likes it on top. Yeah, I mean, that's why the Klingons are on the bottom, because they're bottoms. Just saying. And you notice that the Klingon ships only have one neck, right? Not two. Yeah. Just remember that.
Read the new poll, Stuart, on that bombshell of Wiener Town.
Oh, nice. Round 4. Ding, ding, ding. The Katinga from the motion picture. The Discovery D7 on screen now. And the Raider from Discovery. And the Bird of Prey from Enterprise. The retro Bird of Prey. The plucked chicken, if you will. Those are the choices. Go vote. 100 votes. We got 24 already, which is good, so keep it going. And yeah, General Grievous, $2 on Enterprise era Klingon. Yeah, on Enterprise era Klingon cruiser, nacelles ride cowgirl. Yes, they do. It's not reverse cowgirl, unless they're going in reverse.
Deary me.
All right.
Yeah, vote now.
Yeah, go vote. Now we're moving on to our number 4.
Yeah, we shared the number 5, so...
My number 4 is the Cavort Bird of Prey, the larger Bird of Prey that we see in TN. It's more of a fixed wing configuration. I don't know if this is variable wing or not, but we usually see it like this just because the miniature broke. So they just kept the wing straight out. And I think I like the flight configuration, even of the Burrell. I like the wings straight out, and I also like the landing configuration better than the attack configuration. So the fact it's just a bigger version of a really cool looking design, it's great. FASA had the 3 different sizes, with the big one being the Great Bird, and I think that's also a great idea. But at the same time, we've pointed this out before, that just take the exact same design and just upscale it doesn't necessarily work correctly. I wish there were a few more small changes here and there, but overall, this is a fantastic design, and I love the fact that it's not just 12 men, it's a bigger ship. So that's why it's got my number 4 slot.
So this one kind of wins by concept over design difference. Because there is no design difference, that's the whole joke.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure the miniature guy who made this choice is like, so you're saying I got 2 top 10 votes, the same thing? Win?
Yes.
But we all know what you mean, Stuart.
Do you? Because I don't know what I mean half the time. So.
Although well, we haven't got there yet, but I'm surprised then by that small logic that the Prodigy Bird of Prey, the Cavort Prodigy-esque thing, didn't sort of get that slot then, because it's okay, it's not a top thing, but it's a bigger scale, etc. Video coming soon.
Yeah. Don't know that for sure. So I just didn't want to.
Don't know a lot about Prodigy for sure, because it hasn't. Yeah, don't know.
For sure.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay, and is he cheating, guys? Nah, let him have it. Those that love ships. Yeah, there's yeah. We can like them differently. It's all good.
Yeah, a lot of people agree that this swings straight out or up look a little bit better.
I don't think it looks better, but I like the concept of it doing it and the utilitarian nature of having that ability. I think it looks way more aggressive downwards, but this does give it such a stance of strength that, yeah, it fit the TNG episode really well, even if it was just the same damn thing.
It's not bigger, it's just closer. Yes, Martin.
It's funny.
Anyway, so What's your number 4?
My number... There's lots of rendering to do. My number 4, let's remind ourselves, is the Negvar, which jumps higher on the list because, I mean, obviously, as with a lot of these different top 10s, how it's featured in the show is also how you remember it. Its TNG appearance is an epic little moment where it's like, oh wow, a new big Klingon ship, then made to be a bitch instantly. But it feels great for the few seconds it's king, and then it's DS9, it's just towering over the fleet, and it feels so seeing actually in context with the fleet and where the war is, like that is a Klingon battleship. That totally outstretches the D7's aggression. Like boom, this can take on a sovereign, a D, money to like it has that oomph power. And in Voyager, the fact that the team recreated the Negvar CG or built it in CG for 3 shots, never end of the show, never to be used again, gives it a really fun vibe. 3 of them, and thematically to have a shuttle take on 3 is like, oh my god. So every time we see it, it's such a punchy reason to be there. And if you look at the design, I really like the head. I think it's a really good, iterative yet unique vibe. The front gun, take or leave it. I mean, the design is limited by the nature of when it was built in terms of like the blockiness. Tweak that, fine, sure. But I like the nacelles, how they're stuck in the 4 nacelles in essence. It's just so beefy and powerful. It feels like an ultimate sort of warship. And if there's really a scene in a Trek where you actually had it in a proper combat situation, I wonder how many guns it could fire, and disruptors, how many torpedoes, how much raw firepower could this bring to bear? I don't even know. We never got a sense of that. A lot would be the answer. I would love to see a battle where it truly gets utilised, because it would kick a lot of butt. So yeah, I just like it as a sort of the, not the sexiest, but it feels exactly what it's trying to be. Just a truly flagship level battleship of the Klingon Armada.
Yeah, I mean, Area 51 just asked, Captain, is it the more flat nature of the design that may be the thing bothering you about this one? Because I couldn't quite nail it down. I mean, maybe I would kind of prefer if the nacelles were like mounted underneath, kind of like a D7 style. Like underneath and up would be kind of neat, as opposed to just, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Like I said, there's nothing I can really definitively put my finger on. But it's just kind of for me. So I don't dislike it though.
Mm-hmm. But you get my logic though.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
And guys,
and it'd be weird to say that yes, the flatness bothers me, because I just said I like the Cavort with the flight configuration.
That would be weird. Although flatness doesn't always work. I mean, the Discovery ships are flat and don't really work. So it kind of works, as not works. And guys, 14 more votes in round 4, and then we will start our narrowing down rounds, because we'll then have our 8 finalists, and you guys will vote between. So vote in those 12 more people, and then we'll crown our number 1. We've still got a full 50 minutes, so we should be able to do that successfully. And that'll mean that you guys will actually pick the chat's favourite ship, and we'll see how it lines up with our favourite. Yeah. Vote now. 8 more votes. See, that jumped already. Currently a clear victory one, but it's hard to throw. You got to throw the classics in with the non-classics and try and sort of. They've done quite a good even round of them, because they're classic for a reason, etc., etc.
7 more votes and 7 more likes. Let's get to 150. Likewise, if you're just joining us, hit that like button. But yeah, just go check out the poll.
And some more super chats, guys. A bit light today. Please support if you can, and join Stuart's Boba Fett one tonight. So at least another 50 or 80 would be kind of important. But we'd like to get there. 3 more votes, guys. 3 more votes. Ooh.
Paul Hutter throws in 35 of whatever that was again. I forget. Anyway, what would you gents prefer, Klingon Vorcha or Romulan Valdor? Valdor, for me.
They both have flaws. The Vorcha's too boxy because of when it was made. The Vorcha is too sleek because it's all CG. Valdor's too sleek. So if you de-sleeked the Valdor a little bit and sleeked the Vorcha a bit more, I'd like to see that.
So if they had a baby, you would think it'd be awesome.
Maybe. when two villain races love each other very much, they make a new ship. The Valchar.
The Valchar, yes. The Vordal.
Ooh. 101 votes, guys. So, round 4. Favourite Klingon ship, top 2 go through. Katinga TMP with 64% of the vote. D7 from Discovery gets 10% of the vote, which is still 10 people. The Raider from Discovery does get 4% though, there are a few people. And Bird of Prey from Enterprise does make it at least to the semi-final at 22%. So, good stuff, and I'll set up the next one as we start the semi-final to see who will go in the full final. Gotta try and make some fair matchups.
I'm looking forward to hearing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing. I know we're going to kind of show with the poll what you guys kind of selected, but if you want to individually say what your favorite Klingon ship is, that would be a good time to start like super chat your favorite ship. Maybe your top 3.
Because what is our bronze going to be? We're at that point.
Yeah. So, and hit that like button. I want at least another 4 likes to get to 150. Haven't seen Jeff Jacobs around for a while. Felt like I had to say 150. So yeah, we're going to be moving into our bronze place, 3rd spot. You know, the first loser. In a second here. I don't even remember what I have on my list. I know what my number 1 is, which I think is going to be controversial.
Okay, semi-final number 1. I kind of set it for try and be sort of find a good matchup. D7 from TOS, the Enterprise era Bird of Prey, the Kelvin D7, and the Vorcha. Vote now. Semi-final 1.
These are fun. I like the semi-final ideas.
Yes.
It's good.
And it's nice because there's 4, because everyone you get to see the percentage. And you guys get to vote lots as well, which is always a lot of fun. Everyone's got their personal favourite. Well, it would be kind of nice if you could vote more than once. That would be a nice feature. Like, even if you just set that on, like, yeah, everyone gets 2 votes or 3 votes, that'd be a... YouTube, make that a feature for later on, because it'd be useful.
You bastards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, your
All
bronze.
Right, so my bronze...
Now, was the 3 very much the clear... Now you're sort of got there. Was it like 1, 2, 3? Or did it shift a bit? Or...
Shifted a bit. It was quite a shuffle. These slots, unfortunately. I was moving shit around. Before I get into that, my bronze, we got I Am Misi with $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I have always had a soft spot for the Vorcha because of Star Trek Armada.
Yeah, it's fun to have that.
Area 51 throws in $10.
Thank you
so much.
Yes.
Big deal, guys. Thank you. Those are helping. Katinga is my all-around favorite. I really like the Bird of Prey, but the Katinga is the big boss-type ship I'd want if I was a Klingon captain. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Moving in
to
my number 3 slot.
First medal
is the Katinga.
Hey!
Motion picture.
And because we did. Now, did you remove the Trials and Tribulations version? Like, is this specifically this version? Definitely this version, or just the Katinga in general?
Trials and Tribulations one is a D7 variant.
Well, yeah.
I removed the DS9 one.
Okay.
Because I was, what should I do, the DS9 one or this one? I'm like, I'm gonna go with this one, just because.
Yeah, there was this version of this version. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah. But yeah, a mean looking ship. I mean, after Star Trek being off the air for a while and coming back in the movies, and this is like the first thing you see in that beginning of that motion picture. It's just such an impressive sight, 3 of them, and then to get the camera shot where it goes up to the model and like turns and then the ship keeps going. So beautiful to see, such great detail. It was impactful. This is one that's made an impression for that very reason. Even the red glow from the bridge windows. I mean, there's such cool little elements to the ship, and the up detailing from the D7 was great. So this is a super impressive, amazing looking ship. Holds up well on a big screen. It's greebelied up. I have a model of one. Oh, I put it in the bin. Anyway, I got a model of one that I'm working on. One of the big 537 scale ones. And yeah, they're just super impressive and a really cool design. I love the look of one from the front. Kind of like a, it looks mean. It just looks mean with the way the cells go down, and so yeah, impressive looking ship and highly detailed, which is nice. So there you go. Number 3.
I mean, is this arguably the best visual update of any ship ever?
No, the refit was. Refit Enterprise.
Well, no, but that changes. I mean, that changes. That's a different design. This is just a visual update.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I would say maybe.
This still looks better than, you know, the JJ one or the. I mean, it looks better than all the other ones. For a reason, you know. Like it just is. I mean, yeah, like I say, that movie shot, that miniature of the zooming into the bridge is like, ah, my god, the detail, glorious.
The detail.
And guys, we're at 82 votes. We will get 100 before we can do the second semi-final round. Put in your vote. What do you want to see? So we've got 2 more polls after this, as you guys vote on the final. So 12 more votes. My bronze, then, Stuart. I've totally forgotten, so I'm excited to see what I said. My bronze is the Vorcha. I do like more than the Katinga, the Negvar, because while the Negvar is bulky and big and broad and rah, I kind of like the more well, obviously it's close to the D7, which helps. It has a certain speed to this that the Negvar does not have. I really like nacelles. I think they're really, really nice designs. They both are very, you understand them, classical, and yet feel very, very like they're pushing the technology to the limit of what the thing can do. And unlike the Discovery nacelles, which are too long and don't feel good, these are very long and feel about right. Going back to what I said previously, I like the fact that it feels as if you can just alter a few elements and make a new class of ship. And then, you know, having variants, it feels like very much a missed opportunity in DS9. They could, you know, they had this model, they could have made a few more heads and have, you know, this is the torpedo boat, this is the sensor boat, this is the big, you know, etc., etc. But I like the big command center on the top. The kind of feels like it's a, you know, it's a fleet command ship rather than just a, you know, a ship. And the nice inclusion of the bird of prey style shoulder pads is lovely. You know, it's there. Yeah. It's minimal. It doesn't detract. It just adds more detail. And the thing implies things that aren't there. I mean, this is obviously the 3D model from DS9, but like at the top of that back pod, there's a rectangle slit, which kind of feels like a weapon pod ping thing, and the front weapons is. There's more to this ship than you think. We just didn't get to see it. And I love the colour variation, even though it's really odd. Just I think it's a good choice to kind of those colours that do pop, but don't over pop. They just kind of they work well rather than being intrusive or aggressively colourful, which, you know, does happen for other things. So yeah, I like it.
Cool. Yeah. Laughable Larry, $2. Speculation on Klingon ships in Discovery's future.
Oof.
I just want a mention of a Klingon.
Yeah, well, I just don't want them to say, oh yeah, the old Kronos, that was a story in the 2700s. I'm like, oh. Yeah, all the Klingons died of genocide. Oh.
See, the problem is, we thought we were being helpful. We're like, have you guys seen yourselves? So we supplied them with mirrors. And after they got mirrors, they just killed themselves. They just genocided their entire species. Because the disco Klingons. Come on now.
Something like that. 8 more votes, guys,
that
and we'll hit
wasn't
100.
funny.
Yeah.
7 more votes.
Oh, Emma, its parts are poorly integrated. Sorry, it's my least favourite. But that's the point, though, isn't it? The big tower feels like a fleet command tower. Feels very much like an aircraft carrier. Which
the conning tower.
Yeah, which is there. It's big, it's bulking. The D7 or the Katinga is very much sort of there. It sort of all works together. But like I said, I would love to see a sleek down version where it's all kind of integrated and maybe it's at the front, like you said, or even underneath. Just a single space frame, I think you could do a lot with. Yeah. 6 more votes, guys. 6 more votes.
General Grievous, $2. Sam meant to say the nacelles feel very ample.
Maybe. Yeah, but this one definitely also needs I mean, the model is you can see it's quite simplistic. A lot of those shapes are very rectangly, and I mean it's really great for the time. Like it looks great on screen, and I can even make it look great if I'm like going cinematic lighting rather than just like showing it lighting, because it's different. But the miniature's also just a lot of raised rectangle plating because it was just cheaper to make, etc. So it'd be nice to see like just a slightly more refined version would be nice.
And they did design it that front module comes off, if I recall correctly, yeah?
Yeah, Rick designed 3 different versions that could go on, and they picked this one. Guys, 2 more votes.
It'd be cool to see it. It'd be cool to see it detached with that little like conning tower bit with nothing in front of it. It's like, this is like this cute little D7.
Although I'd imagine like the source of separation on the D, there might be like a mini bridge module that kind of is inside it, so it's got something, maybe.
Maybe.
Because it would look weird if it's just cut off. It would look terrible. Oh, 99 votes, come on guys. Last votes, guys. Last vote. You could be that last 100 vote. You could be that last 100 vote. I don't know if you can make a difference in the poll, but you could be that last vote.
It says 100 votes right now on my end. So.
Okay, we'll call it there then. There we go. Got it for me. Cool.
All right, so this is final number 1. The D7, TOS D7 goes through at 46%.
Yes.
And the Vorcha goes through at 34%.
Yeah,
the Kelvin D7 at 12%, and the Enterprise Prey at 5%.
It's funny how the metrics work.
I still have faith in you guys. It's good stuff.
Okay, last round. Trying to have to work out which one's left.
Bubble jump.
Ooh, this last one's going to be hard.
152 likes, guys. That is awesome. If you haven't hit the like button, let's hit it. Let's see how high we can get up to. Can we get another 8 to get to 160? We're slowly curling up there. Let's keep the super chats coming. Those IMECs and Area 51s really did help out a lot. But honestly,
50 minimum.
30, 40, another 50.
Yeah. We're still on half an hour.
There you go, guys.
But semi-final round 2. D7 Trials and Tribulations version. The Negvar, the Burrell, and the Katinga. So these are pretty freaking famous ones. So, pick your 2 favourite 2, and then the final 4 will jump in at the end. And
Nice.
and then we'll see the gold, silver, and bronze. Because at that point it isn't top 2. It's let's see what wins the ranking. So Stuart, what is your silver place medal?
My silver.
There isn't much left now.
The classic. It's a classic D7.
So you cut away all those detailed elements, and it raises one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kind of like the smooth, simple look of the TOS one. It is the classic. It is the one I've been staring at most of my life, model-wise and stuff. Yes, the Katinga is great with the extra detail, but there's something to be said about a simple, sleek, smooth simplicity, and the D7 definitely speaks to that. I do kind of like the upgraded version we got for the Trials and Tribulations with slight detailing, similar to the Katinga, but more toned down. And I thought about putting that one in here, but I figured I might as well go classic just because that's how I was feeling at the time. And yeah, are there things I would change about it? Maybe 1 or 2 small little things, but overall pretty fantastic design, and I love it. So there you go. Very simple, very TOS.
Yeah,
easy like pie.
There is something to be said that you've been staring at that your entire Trek life.
Yeah.
It's older than you.
Yep.
It's been impressing people longer than you've been alive, which is a
exactly
hell of a thing. Hell of a thing to say, and it certainly deserves the respect, because these, it's so, when the designer designed it, it's like, boom, this is an iconic, this is a vision, this is a shape, this is not done before, and it still has a certain, you can see the logic of the tuna cells, the saucer, and the secondary hull, just in a different form. He did it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same logic, the same universe, the same logic, That's impressive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
General Grievous, $2. Captain likes his ship smooth. I'll leave that there. Smooth and ample.
And I'm looking at the poll results, and the Burrell, which is the standout victor in its category. If you guys don't vote, that won't get in. It's kind of 2D7 variants are currently in the running. So guys, we need those 28 more votes. Get your favourite through,
Yeah. I kind of agree with Emma. She's summing that up. It's both pretty and intimidating. Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe the D7. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and the simplicity of having that single giant torpedo launcher at the front, which obviously is retcon torpedo launcher, but that thing, it's like, it is saying a massive chunk of the thing we're showing front is going to kill you. Oof.
Well, I'm going to be clear. The D7, it's a deflector. On the Katinga, it became a proton torpedo launcher. So...
Some D7s.
But this is the ship that was so nice that the Romulans wanted some. You're going to scoop up your ships, guys. So there you go. Important.
Yeah. Pretty much.
How about you? What is your silver?
Oh, my silver. Let's see what I said. I said the survey says the D7 Katinga. So it does beat for me the normal Katinga. Now there's some caveats here. It is less detailed because it wasn't made by artisan crafted model makers over months in the model shop in ILM. It was created by probably one guy on a lightwave computer. So obviously less detail. However, I really like the glowing nacelles.
What is this from again?
It's from DS9. Whenever we saw it, it
Okay.
was built by the team for that big fleet shot we saw with that really epic call to arms where the Defiant and Better Prey find a fleet. It's like, oh my god, they've got ships now. That shot, it was in there. It's pretty much never used again, give or take, because they built it because they thought the company would pay for it because they thought they'll want it. They never paid for it, so it didn't really get massively featured. And then it was the one that was reused for Enterprise, just kit bashed a little bit, and in Voyager. So it was kind of, they did make it, they just didn't feature as much as they could have. So, but what it does, like I say, is I really like the glow nacelles. I think that adds so much punch to it. I like the red, I like the simplicity. It basically is a Katinga, but with glow nacelles. That's kind of my logic here.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a Kronos 1 version, which is the same thing. It is the Katinga miniature with glow nacelles. However, it's got all this gold paneling all over that is very garish. And I can't let it be in because of that. So, a glowing nacelle Katinga is my vote. And because this one happens to be that.
Nice.
And the fact that it has the glowing top red for the not engine pod, which links to Enterprise before they even had Enterprise. So yeah, the Katinga design of this style I like a lot.
Nice.
We're nice to see it more though, for sure. It's super unfeatured in that show.
Yeah.
Guys, vote more. 15 more votes. I mean, would you agree that if the Katinga had glow nacelles, would be better? Or D7 even?
The Katinga, yes. The D7, no. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm.
Very fair answer. So guys, 15 more votes, and we'll have one more poll as well. I love the fact that it's 6 minutes already 85 votes, which is very fast for one of our polls.
Yes,
it's fantastic. So yeah, you guys are really trying to zone in there.
15 more votes on the poll, guys. 125 of you here. Do it. And we hit 160 likes, so every time I ask for a little goal, we get it. So let's go to 170.
Mm-hmm.
So hit that like button.
Well, let's see before we say our number ones. So now on that final, if everyone wants to put in a super chat $2 or $5, their number one. If we can have 10 fives, we'll reach our minimum, give or take. And we'll see if that your favourite lines up with the audience favourite. So spam the chat right now.
Nice.
Even a dollar. What is your favourite Klingon design? And we'll see if that matches up with the poll results, because it may have already gone down in one of the many rounds. So final 8 votes. Put your favourite right now, and sort of super chat. This is probably our number 1. See if you can get some 1s and 5s and kind of get to a minimum. It'd be great.
Yeah, General Grievous, $2. I see you want double D7s in the poll. LOL.
Double Ds have their value.
Ooh, wow. Han Sebi, thank you so much. Throws in a €20 super chat.
Oh, well, there you go.
That is amazing. Problem solved.
Well,
The
of course,
Katinga is stately.
Yeah.
And from Kronos 1 on, later models had the most futuristic looking nacelles to me. Slim, simple, rounded, rectangular shape. A mysterious cyan glow, on the inside grill, illuminating alien shapes. That's a great description.
Yeah.
Are you a writer? Sounds like you're an author.
It is poetic, for sure.
Yeah.
But guys, spam the chat right now with your favourite. Now we only need an extra $35 and we've got our minimum, give or take. Fantastic. And 6 more votes. So guys, seriously, spam the chat with your favourite. And we'll see. Because I want to know. Because no one's actually said what they think yet. So put in those favourites and we'll see if they line up.
Yeah, we got our number 1 slots coming up. So excited for that. Anyone guess what my number 1 is going to be?
I mean, you've kind of burned through the obvious ones.
I know I have.
I mean, if it's another Discovery one, I think there might be a slight riot.
My favorite thing on ships bookended by the Discovery ships.
The Discovery of Bird of Prey, because everything about the classic Bird of Prey, and everyone just like just spit takes and drops their glasses. It's like
we should just have a live our Social Blade thing up with the subscriber count and just watch it go.
We wake up tomorrow, we've got 400 subscribers, and it's like, how does that even make sense? Yeah. I'm like, sure, you literally killed the channel. Who knew the top 10 had that much power? I say didn't know.
One thing I did, I thought there's the community tab under
yes.
YouTube. So on the app, the YouTube app, I did a poll for moving the time slot for our lives an hour ahead. 80% is 117 votes right now. 80% says that'll be fine. They're still going to watch.
Good.
1% said no, not convenient for me.
Okay.
14% says I'll have to watch them after the fact.
Okay.
And then 5% said can't. You just leave things the same. So 80% is in favor of moving an hour ahead. And it's 117 votes, and it's only been up for 2 hours.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm going to leave that up for a while. That'll hit more of our audience than lives will, because they come up in a feed, a scroll thing. So hopefully people will vote. So right now it looks like we might be moving the lives up, but I know we're probably maybe next week or the week after we'll start that. So just so you guys know.
Maybe with the Discovery back, kind of end prodigy on the note and then restart.
Yeah, maybe.
Give some symmetry to the experience. Which I gotta say, I'm kind of sad we're almost at the end of Prodigy. Part 1 of 4. No, part 2 of... No, part 2 of 8, if they're going to split them all up. God damn it. Do you think we're going to get 10 in the next batch? Actually get the whole season? Half season? We're getting quarter seasons at this point, guys. Jesus Christ. Guys, 3 more votes. 3 more votes. 3 more votes.
2 more votes. 2 more
And Dan
votes.
wants a slight clarification on the live time change.
Oh, that would start at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9 p.m. GMT.
So good for the UK people. That's good for the USA people. That's okay. And Maya says, Samuel with an A. Samuel with an E. I'm a writer. Would you consider working together on an original sci-fi book movie with me? Well, movie's certainly exciting. Possibly. I mean, Stuart as well. We have lots of different ideas.
I do have good ideas when we're talking.
Well, I said lots of ideas. I didn't say good ideas. Just lots of ideas.
Hey. Plus, I'm a bit of a writer myself, so I'd be interested.
Yes. But yeah, email trekyards@hotmail.com. Maybe I'll let Stuart jump on that to see what you got in mind. But, I'm somewhat in demand as an artist. I do too many things is the unhelpful thing. 103 votes. Okay, cool. So semi-final, round 2. The votes are as follows, and then we'll do the final, to which will crown the bronze, silver, and live. Ah, Jamal, you're still technically working. Oops.
All right. Hey, Multi-Gun Man, how's it going? It's going well here.
And when does it hold? Oh yeah, so semi-final, top 2 go through. Katinga, 35%. D7 transportations, 30%. Burrell, back down to 19%. Decimate on that one. And Negvar, 14%. But a far more even split than the other results, which have been decisive victory. So when you get to the ones that people like, it's a bit more of a split. So let's see what the final poll is.
Good old gamer says the live stream change is obviously for Sam's benefit, lol. No, actually, it's for mine. I described why yesterday. But yeah, it's more for me than for him. Benefits us both in a small way. I mean,
Yeah,
it will him more so in like a year or so. But
yeah, I just suck up the late night by having caffeine and staying awake till 5 a.m. I mean, I just live on that time frame. It's not good.
Well,
but
I stay up till like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning too.
But
here,
that's
so.
just you being you, though, babe.
Yes, it is. Ozzy throws in $2. The D7 has tribbles in their engineering room. Yes, there's no tribble at all.
Oh my goodness.
Good to hear that, Multi-Gun Man. Glad you're doing well. All right, so number 1 is coming up as soon as we get this next poll out. Dun, dun, dun.
Another $25, and then we are done.
And 2 more likes. 1 more like. We're at 169 likes. 1 more like to 170. You know what? I'm going to stretch it and go. Let's go for 180. Let's do 11 more.
So
that like
you're saying 150 plus 30?
Yes. No, I'm saying 180. I'm not going to say 150 again because Jeff's not here.
So the final poll, Stuart. Read out what the audience has given us.
All right, this is the final poll. This is for the final gold, silver, and bronze place, and 1 honorable mention, I guess, and that is the D7 TOS, the Vorcha, the Katinga from TMP, and the D7 from Trials and Tribulations. So 2 D7s on the board, but vote now.
Well, 2 D7s and a Katinga, so 3 of the 4 are D7 variant-esque designs, which is... People like that shape, Stuart. Holy hell.
Which is what I mentioned to you before we did the live. I'm like,
wow.
Shit. I need to redo my list.
I'm definitely surprised, I'll be honest. Not in a bad way by any means, but it's just like, oh, right. This is the... Burrell really didn't, didn't stand a chance when he threw against D7s, I guess.
Just weird.
But hey, this is
right.
We have 0 control. This is what the audience said. That's what's kind of great about it, you know?
We're 5 away from our like goal of 180 too. Or 180 as well. Should I change the like goal to 182? Yeah, let's hit 182.
Ooh, we went ambitious there at the last minute, Stuart. Oof.
7 more likes. All right, guys. So let's get into our number 1 slots now.
Personal favorite.
While you vote.
And let's see if Stuart's is one of those top 4.
Won't be.
Don't think
Laughable
it can
Larry
be.
throws in $1 with no comment, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can't comment with $1, so thank you for the $1. Those dollars help, and he must be going for the last super chat snipe kind of early, but there it is. He shot. All right, ready for my number 1?
Mm-hmm.
My number 1 is the Discovery Klingon Raider.
You've always said that one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not say the Raider.
Oh, the Raider. Oh.
Yeah.
So why is that, Stuart?
Because it looks like a bug. No, I'm just kidding. My number 1.
Because you couldn't back that up because I had the picture, so you didn't give me that picture as a fake one.
My number 1 is not that, because no. My number 1 is, of course, to much to everyone's surprise, the JJ Warbird, the JJD7.
Yep, the JJ Warbird, because that's what they call it.
Yeah, and that's what they call it. That's not what it is. It shouldn't be called that, but that's what they call it. People like screaming at me now. You don't like JJ. You don't like the JJ verse. Ah.
Sorry, didn't you make a video at one point with a famous title? What was it? What was it called again? I mean, I'm having a hard time remembering.
JJ Star Trek sucks, and here's why.
Yeah, that was it.
Yes, I did. But this is the one thing, and even if you go back and watch my Eaglemoss review of the ship, this is the one thing about that movie I absolutely loved. This redesign is faithful, yet it's impressive. The way they redesigned it looks really cool. It actually feels a little more Klingon in a way for me. The neck has like vertebrae on it, and it feels more in line with like Klingon armor that you see in TNG with the vertebrae on the back. And for a D7 redesign, this is really great. It's bulked out that part that everybody has a problem with, that is thin near the attachment point of the secondary hull. It's got the guns that stick out. I absolutely love. Not the biggest fan of the shape of the front of the nacelles, but it's still fine. They've toned down the size of the top hat tower, the bridge dome, and they've made it just a nice, sleek. This is a perfect reimagining of a classic design. People are going to get mad at me because it's not the classic. It is a redesign, and it's a JJ one, but I really don't care. Like I said, this is the one thing that JJ was like, it's going to be on screen for how long? Okay, cool. I don't care if it looks faithful to what it should look like. I don't need to put my stamp on it. No one's going to see it. So all the ships should have been treated like this in that movie, but this was the one that actually worked for me. And this was a hard decision to put this as number one. I had the classic D7 as number one for a while, and the more I looked at it, the more I looked at this, I was just like, you know what? If I had to change the D7, a lot of the things that they've done here I would do, and just to make it better. So there you go. Controversial, I know, but a Kelvin verse as number one. There you go.
Damn. And that went out in round.
Fire me now as your captain. You can all mutiny. I don't care.
See, I would still change neck.
Metallica fan.
I would still change neck though. Still change neck.
Metallica fan 1442, £2. Thanks for the live stream. Thank you, Metallica fan. What would you change about the neck? I like the way it looks from the top because, like I said, it does look like a spine. It looks like a vertebrae, and that's cool because it ties in with the armor that they have later.
Well, I would reverse the sizing so it gets thicker as it goes back, which would fit better with the neck, and I'd make it slightly smaller so it feels more in keeping, rather than the opposite and it's very far out. It goes opposite to the design aesthetic as it looks. Or I'd or make it maybe smoother or something. Just not much, but some. And I'd probably make the neck a little bit, maybe one of those neck breakdown elements closer to the hull because it's made a little bit too much neck.
Yeah. So I don't know. This one might be controversial, but I just thought I really like this design, and I have ever since I first saw the ship from Eaglemoss when I did the review. Because you see it on screen, but after you've held it, and then you see it on screen again, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a nice looking ship. Very faithful.
It's surprisingly balanced.
Yeah.
And yeah, the way it does the back part is really nice. It's the same and yet different, and yet sleeker and yet the same.
Yep. And those guns look quite aggressive, sticking out of the front of the secondary hull.
And we've talked about the gun placement on this ship for many a time, and that's very much a place you could put them that looks great.
Mm-hmm. Be careful on the model, though. They could break off easily if you're not careful. But yeah, so there we go. That's my gold place, my number one. We have 180 likes now, which is awesome. But we're here now. It's time for the most important time of the day.
Closing statement by Stuart.
No, not at all. The commander's first place pick is gold, because he's much better with ships than I am generally, because he plays with them all the time in 3D.
Yeah, I have a slight different perspective on them, but that's okay. I know.
So I'm interested to find out what his number one is.
As am I. We do need another $35 minimum, so that's 7 5s, throw them in, and do vote on our poll. We want to get more than 100. We're going to keep this going to the end of the live, which is only 15 minutes, so please keep voting, because currently there's a winner, but we also want to see where the second and third place lies. with a bit more oomph. So throw us in your vote. Get the poll to at least 100, if not 110. We'd love to see. My number one, though, Stuart, and it was a pretty quick one for me. I'm surprised it went out. Is the Burrell Bird of Prey. First reaction to that statement.
I understand why you like it, because it's so much you can do with it, especially in motion, especially with the different wing configurations. And as I talked about, we did see it in DS9 kicking a lot of ass, especially in formation flying, and very agile, very quick little ship. So I think you like playing with it in 3D because it's fun to work with.
Yeah, D7 has less. D7 has less or whatever. No, for me this is okay. So this is an example of the Katinga is immaculately highly detailed, but it's still the same design, and most of the details are sort of greebling. You look at this ship. This ship was immaculately detailed with a ton of creative parts. No two parts except the mirror opposite of the ship are the samely detailed. There's creativity in every element of this design. The gun is super unique. The head is super unique. The red of the thing was an inspired choice. The shoulder blades are you would think are bulky, but they're really not. The fact the wings move. The wing paneling is not just feathers. It is, but it isn't. The back is really interesting. The way the engines are is super unique. The bottom is detailed. It's well thought out high detail of a well thought out high detail of a well thought out high detail, and the it all comes together. It can be quite simple. And as soon as you zoom in the movie, you know, the Star Trek 5 close-ups, whatever, it's like, fuck, that miniature is glorious and like high detail. Like, it's probably more detailed than Katinga because it's smaller and you have to do smaller details. And they had to design it all. It's so well realized. And we're lucky that they used it again and again and again in TNG, etc. Because then you got to have that high production value they could not have achieved on a TV budget. On screen, there's too much detail to it. And as you said, it's small enough but big enough still to be not shuttle size, so you can have good in motion shots. It can be fast, it can be slow. The wing arrangement can be a bit odd, being that, you know, the DS9 version is very much, sometimes very squat, almost like that. It's like a triangle, and then sometimes it's much more. So it's got a few different altered sort of profiles, and just, you know, it has so many legendary scenes. There's so many, you know, it is the feisty little brother of the D7, which got a lot more attention and a lot more love because it's smaller, easier to mount on the connection points for the miniature, as being technical there. Everyone knew what I meant, right? Everyone knew.
So for the record, guys, Samuel's number one slot is a Romulan ship. Romulan ship design for his number one Klingon ship.
We all know he's wrong, though.
I'm not, though.
Literally, fully canon wrong, you know? You can't get more wrong in canon, you know?
Another reason Enterprise sucks. That's it. Reinforce this lie that this is a Klingon design. Anyway, that's fine. You thought I was going to say that from the get-go, didn't you, when you asked?
Oh, sure.
Why I thought this was the one you picked.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it doesn't look Romulan at all to me. Like, not remotely. The bird, fine, but that's it. Nothing else says Romulan to me. Doesn't suggest at all.
We got whole videos about this, guys.
We do.
Very divided in the fandom about it, too, so...
So, yeah, and I'm quite annoyed this went out, because it should absolutely have been in the top 4. I'm actually kind of annoyed that 3 Katingas get in the top 4. It's a bit silly, honestly.
Wow, yeah, you should have seen my list earlier.
Well, yeah, and obviously your top 3 are all Katinga variants, so it's just like, well, that shape. It's like, this one deserves to be easily everyone's top, like, number 2, you would think, but hey-ho. Hey-ho!
Don't call me a hoe.
Hey.
Ho.
Off to work we go. What?
All right, we got 99 votes on that poll, guys. We need at least one more.
Yes. But interesting. But yeah, we'll do another 5 minutes, guys. We do need those extra $30 if you can. But yeah, interesting stuff. And Stuart, you're doing another live today, aren't you?
I am at 10 p.m. ish. Should be at 10. Might be 5 minutes after, but anyway, yeah, 10 o'clock. Talking about Book of Boba Fett, episode 4.
Which I have yet
Join
to
me.
see, but I'm excited to see whenever I get to see it. And then tomorrow, obviously, Prodigy again for us. I'm sure we'll be filming all day, etc., etc. As we do. Already back to that.
Wait, today's Wednesday. Oh shit, it is too.
Yep.
All right, General Grievous, $2. Katinga, 3-way. This just keeps getting dirtier.
Yeah, but what a boy, Matt Jeffries. You know, just made icons upon icons upon icons. So I don't think the poll's going to change. We'll leave it open until the last minute, Stuart. But read out the results and see what the audience says.
As of right now, with 101 votes, we've got the Katinga TMP version at 46% is number 1. Vorcha, 24%, coming in the number 2 slot. And number 3 is the Klingon, or the, obviously, Klingon D7 TOS. The TOS D7 at 20%. The D7 from Trials and Tribulations, which is a little bit more detailed. D7 is at 11%, so that is an honorable mention.
Which is pretty interesting, actually, in that people prefer the cleaner lines. They prefer them more detailed. But out of the other two, yeah, wow.
Matt Boardman throws in $5 and says, "Now that my internet is behaving itself again, here's a little to help toward that goal." Thank you very much, Matt.
So you need the internet, man. We all need the internet. Dear me.
So if you haven't voted on the poll, go vote. You might change 1 or 2 numbers a little bit. Let us know your thoughts. 102 votes as of right now. So
yeah, cool stuff. And join us on Friday at, I guess, one of our last regular timed lives, reviewing Prodigy, episode 8. Yes. And I'm filming another batch of Trek short days at this weekend. I've got Nim coming down to film, or up, I guess, where she is. She's coming for Saturday and Sunday. We're doing a Trek shorts filming weekend. We are filming another non-disclosed, non-announced, non-talked about short, which gets to utilise some great props. I get to film it in a totally different way, and my computer voice-over actress is going to be thrilled because the dialogue is extremely interesting, not what you'd expect. And there's a few fun bits of CGI in it, which I've shown a couple of people, just some like, what's weird about this shot? And they're like, what? So that's fun. And also on the Sunday we're filming a series of cameos and smaller appearances, because, you know, they mount up if you don't film them. And there's one elevator scene I'm excited to film, which is me and her in the Horizons elevator. It's a nice little gentle scene. But sometimes the elevator scenes are the nicest because you're just very focused on a person, just sort of chit-chatting. They're actually quite nice to film, which is weird, but true. Yeah.
Paul Putter.
Paul!
Puts in more of those 35 things. I forget what they are now. Stoner idea. A Federation yacht with the nacelles in front of the saucer like a pod racer. All show and go. What do you think? A yacht. Well, a Federation yacht, sure. Yeah, I'll buy it for a yacht, not for a starship, but yeah. A civilian ship, a cruiser, a cruise liner of some sort. I'm down with that. Yeah.
I could see it as being the yacht with the nacelles and connect to the nacelles, which then go backwards. So the front nacelles are the front, but behind the nacelles are like cargo pods that contain all of the real food, not replicated stuff, real debauchery supplies, because that's what you're paying for with your God Press Latinum. And then in the main hull of the thing is all rooms and holodecks and such. So that's what I would be. Oh, and Jamal says no trailers he wants for the Stranger Worlds. No, we need a trailer because we need to. The Discovery trailer helped us get used to the idea it was not going to look or feel like Star Trek. So we need a Stranger Worlds trailer to. Oh, I was going to go in blank and be like, oh god! Like the best thing for Discovery was having the Klingons be spoiled 6 months early for us all go, oh my god, it's going to be awful. If that had been day one without trailers, we would have a riot.
They released a picture of the Jeffries tube, sort of. It looks great from what we can see of it.
Yeah, an actress sort of leaked it, like shared it and then blurred enough of it, but you can tell what it is.
Area 51 throws in $10.
Ooh.
says, fortunate for me, I didn't make my $100 bet that Cap would pick the classic D7 for his number 1. Hope this is good enough. Well, thank you. It is very much good enough, so thank you. Honestly, another $20 would be an awesome way to close out, if possible.
Yeah, right.
Just one $20 or 2 10s would be awesome. And we have 104 votes on the poll, so go vote on that if you haven't yet before we close it. But yeah, it was almost my number 1, Area 51. Was for a while, and then I started shuffling, and this one just kept moving up. So
interesting. Yeah, that's been a fun one, guys. Good to chat to you all and do a classic ship one. Oh, actually, since we have another 3 minutes, let me go back to the original top 5 and see what we said.
Yes, let's go do that. Because we did one, what, 3-4 years ago.
Let's have a look.
Hey, Robert. Thank you for popping in to say hi. And Emma says she's desperate for strange new worlds. How many Trek shows will there be this year? Lots. Picard, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, Prodigy. And they're all back to back. Some are doubling up. It's going to be rough. And then, of course, we've got to wait for the Section 31 show and the Starfleet Academy show. And the Neelix cooking show.
It's not coming up. Which
sure, we did one? I think we did a FASA one. I don't think we actually did just a canon one.
Well, I mean, I'm looking. Well, okay, the top 10 Klingon Trekyards, top 10 Klingon ships. You got top 10 Fusion FASA ships, top 10 space battles, top 10 fan film ships, top 10 Borg ships, top 10 hero ships, top 10 Romulan FASA ships, top 10 Romulan ships canon. Nothing's coming up for top 10 Klingon, which is a bit weird because we actually done that earlier.
Could have missed tagging the keywords. But it should be in the playlist anyway.
Yeah, it's not. It's,
no, maybe we didn't do one.
But I remember filming it.
Filming it?
Do I though? Do I remember
maybe
filming?
We never got edited.
No, those all got released.
Oh my god. Damn it. Back-to-back Star Trek is my idea of heaven, says Maddie C. Yes.
Does anybody remember seeing us do an episode like that? Does anybody have memories?
It didn't ring a bell for me, so I thought we did a FASA one because I remember looking at the Klingon FASA designs, but
good views. Oh my god.
If Fleetball was here, he could find it. He's good at finding our old videos. All right, we have 107 votes on the poll, and we'll close it there, I guess. We're going to end it right now, and let's see what the final numbers are. We've got in first place the Katinga from the motion picture at 42%. The Volta in second place at 27%.
Ooh.
The TOS D7 at 19%. And then the honorable mention of the D7 from Trials and Tribulations, a little bit more detailed up D7 at 10%. So there you go.
There you go indeed. Wow. Cool.
Liz Jericho says you examined the fleet. Yes, we did look at the fleet of Klingon ships, I believe, in a live or a video of some sort.
That was a 2-part video. It was way before the lives. But I remember the other thing. Okay.
Done a lot of videos, guys.
Yeah, you have. Oh, well. Well, now you guys know. For the first time. Cool. All right. Well, have a great rest of your day. You go have some food. I'm going to try and finish this animation sequence I need to do today, which I probably can't do today, but I'll keep going until I do. Everyone wish me luck, please. Cool, thanks.
Good luck, Commander.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, he is Commander Calkins.
He is Captain Foley, the one and only, the epic, the legendary.
And we'll see you next time.